Let's do it.
All right. Welcome, New Orleans by Night. I am Michael, pronouns he, him, and I will be GMing tonight. If we want to go around and introduce all your wonderful selves.
Hello, welcome. My name is Laura Tutu, aka Tutu Who, and I will be playing Maxine the Toreador.
Hi, I'm Hallie. Jalapeno, pronoun she, her. I'm going to be playing Celeste the Tremere.
Hi, I am Bran. New pronouns he, they. And I'm gonna be playing Connell, the gangrel, he, him.
All right. I want to go over what had happened last time. It has been a couple weeks since we've been able to get everybody together.
What happened was
So we screwed the pooch.
we done goofed. We
We
done
really
goofed
did.
a little bit.
In a really special way.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't. Hallie, why don't you explain what happened?
No. So we mucked up and Anarchs don't really trust us anymore, and then the Camarillas are trying to get to us and trying to woo us a little bit to switching sides. We spent some time in our different ways of feeding last session. That was solid. Yeah.
This is gonna be fine.
And they have had a couple
Great.
meetings
Great.
with two separate meetings with Camarilla. With some offers that were not taken up. And I can't remember, did we get to the point where y'all were like back at the club?
Not yet.
So we ended Connell had just left, I believe, and was making his way back to the club.
All
And I
right.
think Celeste and Maxine were still talking to Abel.
I thought we had finished with he had made the offer, and then hadn't you
Yeah,
two left?
no. He made the offer. Yeah.
You say woo, I can imagine me going woo, woo,
Woo.
woo, wee.
All right. So yeah, we should probably head back to the club and reconnoiter.
Yep. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just go die.
Um, on the way back to the club, Maxine is going to send a text to Oriane. I think I have a way that everybody could potentially be happy. And that's it.
We'll have to wait a little bit before you get the response from that.
Shit.
It will arrive. So, do y'all end up back at the club?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. We're going upstairs to the office.
Club's booming like normal. You've got the tourists all throughout here, scattered through with the regulars.
Mm-hmm.
And you climb the steps to the office.
Yep. Shut the door, lock the door. Keep half an eye on the cameras. Maxine's gonna sit down at her desk. So, how did everybody's evenings go? Connell.
Not in exactly the fashion that I was planning. It would appear that people are willing to talk more than just one set of ears are open to us.
Ears
And
from within.
I believe that this could cause a little bit of friction with the thin bloods that I recently said I would speak on behalf of.
Would those ears happen to be coming from inside the ivory tower?
Those ears, as far as I'm aware from the conversation had with the person, are coming from the Camarilla. Now, I don't know if Romeo knows that these ears are being open to us. But if they are, then he's playing a very dangerous game. He's banking on our loyalty being just shaken enough that we won't say that he's crossing some lines. And then at that, Connell's just going to go silent. Very much in that kind of brooding gangrel manner that Maxine and Celeste would be kind of used to seeing him in, like when he goes into that kind of part of his head where like he's not coming out until he's choosing to come out of it. He's still aware, he's still listening. He's just not active in the conversation until he decides he's going to be active.
It's funny you should say that, Connell. Because from what we've heard, whatever offer that has been set forth by the Cam comes directly from the prince himself. We had a little sit down. There's a baby. There's a baby. Oh my god.
It's late, baby.
It's a baby.
Baby's time to go sleep.
Baby's time to go sleep. I've heard of a gentleman by the name of Abel.
Had a rock, killed his brother.
Connell have heard of this able person.
Yeah. Abel is. Was ist Abel?
Was is Abel?
Was ist Abel?
I have.
Yeah,
I
he's
have down
one
that
of the
he's-
Ventru.
Yeah.
He's a Camarilla.
One of
Yeah.
those fuckers.
I have it down that he's a bit of a schemer.
He's a bit of a snidey one.
Mm-hmm. We were offered to sit down with Abel down at Aunt Tiki's, that shitty little dive bar. Abel doesn't seem to be your biggest fan, so I'm not sure if he's aware of whatever discussion was had on your end with the Cam. But Abel claims that the invitation to walk over and step into the tower come directly from the prince, from Romeo. And from what I can tell, he meant it. Could be he was jumping the gun a little, but he felt that he had the leverage to give us that offer.
He seemed very sure of himself.
Mm-hmm. That's just kind of how he is. He's a smart little fuck. So that can't be terribly surprising for anybody. Now, by my understanding, we are all here together, gathered in this slapdash little coterie because we are all of the same mind. We will not live under the heel of a bunch of old time and traditionalists. I don't much like being told what to do. But if they are sending invitations left and right, it could be an opportunity for us. Not necessarily that we're going to give up our membership to the Anarchs, not necessarily that we're going to turn coat, but there's information to be had. Information that could be filtered back to Orion.
Kindred life is not how I recall it being. Nowadays, all we do is teach kindred how to survive. When I first walked in the night, we taught them how to thrive. We taught each other that a word meant something. We taught our children that your word was something that was held to, and if you had a fight to be picked with someone, you picked it in the open. Not with words behind backs, but with hands open. These anarchs are not what I remember. I think that our allegiance should lie with those who have a sense of what loyalty is and is worth. Orion, I don't know if I can convey and keep loyalty to someone I do not trust.
Which point your phone does it buzz or does it flash or does it do we hear it go off?
It does.
Whatever it does, I probably throw it away in panic.
Demons! The demon box is talking.
It's exploding!
No, Maxine's phone does the thing where the flashlight kind of goes boop.
You check it?
Yep.
Oriane.
Bono instinctively just like flexes like claws, like
I will kill the box if I have to. It's Oriane.
I will swallow it.
I will swallow it.
It's Oriane, and she just the response is, last time you were trying to make me happy, you ended up causing a great deal of headaches. What is it this time?
If we fuck this one up, you likely won't have to deal with us ever again. She's not relaying any of this to the others.
Suicide mission?
Could be.
Are we some kind of patsies?
I'm interested.
Can we meet?
Yes. Yeah, she gives the address to a. It's essentially it's a bakery.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the things that in her domain where that she kind of basically owns. That the back area of it is sometimes used for meetings. It's one of those places where the people might come in to be making stuff sometimes very early in the morning, while it's still dark. But they know just people use this, and don't bother them.
Yeah. You got a place like that in Champaign. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. It's this donut shop that no one's ever actually seen anyone go in or out of.
Do we have a mob donut shop in Champaign?
I don't know. It's a little strange. Anywhoozle.
We had a very successful laundromat that there was never anybody in there at any time, and it was open like since I was a kid. Just one of those things I've seen forever.
Yeah, a very successful laundromat.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Also, speaking of that, if you have not seen Everything All Together All at Once, holy shit.
I need
Just-
to. I just
Holy shit. All right.
Connell, I understand your issue. Maybe not entirely. But the way we operate, the way the kindred do their business, the way they do everything under the table, behind their backs, behind a smile, that is all it has been for as long as I can remember. And that is how you survive. There's also, the world isn't as big as it used to be. There are cameras, there are trails, kind of waves her phone to follow nowadays. And survival, considering who was trying to kick the door down in our little city, survival may be what we need to be concerned about right now. I have put up an offer to Orianne. If the Cam is so desperate to have us on their side, well, why not go? Why not see what the life at the Ivory Tower could be like? And well, if it turns out better than we expected, maybe that coat does turn.
Asking us to put a whole load of stock into people that mere days ago we were talking about killing. You're asking us to leave behind allegiances. You're asking us to leave behind friends. An area where we have built a representation and a reputation within our domain, and where people we care about live.
I am asking if we feel we would be willing or able to play both sides.
Last time somebody asked me to play for two sides, they were holding a cross and saying it was on behalf of a bearded man in the sky. When I said no, my people were burned alive. I don't think playing two sides is something I'm going to be one for doing, Maxine.
Do I look like a fucking Catholic to you?
Catholics were the honest ones.
Fair.
What I mean is, if we're going to pick a side, we need to pick a side. I'd follow the pair of you into the fires of hell, if it existed.
Aw,
We just need to choose which hell we want.
might be the nicest thing you've ever said, Connell. That's twice in the space of like 3 days. Are you alright? You eat somebody funny?
The last one was a crier.
Alright.
That'll just set your whole mood off. I get it.
Yeah, no, you get all up in your feelings about
Right,
it.
we're all talking about me being emotional, right? A minute ago, Celeste said something sensible. Can we point out the other flaw in this coterie right now, please? At which point, Connor was immediately just going to, like, as if he knew it was going to be there, just put his hand out to the windowsill, and Pushin is just going to jump right up, right to where his hand is, and he just starts petting immediately. Like, my comfort spot is now here. Look, scary wildcat, don't converse with me.
Hi, little.
And it goes.
You're a fucking bobcat. You're supposed to be. When you die, I'm trading you in for a Florida Panther.
They actually kind of scream a little. It's weird.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Like a goat.
Highland wildcats that we get here are really rare, and they're one of the most aggressive cat species in the world. But they purr instead of meow, and it's like something really terrifying about the idea of hearing purring. Oh,
It's cute, right?
but yeah.
It's going to kill you.
Oh, they will fucking
That is a
kill you.
predator.
Oh, they
No,
will
he's a
absolutely kill you.
baby.
Here's a
People
little
think
baby.
people think tigers are stealthy. I challenge anybody right now that is watching, go to Edinburgh Zoo, find the Highland wildcats. I challenge you, right? Honestly, right? You think tigers are stealthy? These things are somehow green. Okay,
Weird.
somehow they're green.
I got to play with a baby tiger when I was in high school, and they said like it was the middle of the summer, like wear pants. There was the U of I vet clinic, and my friends took me there, and the baby tiger would just sort of like grab your like it was a little Bengal tiger would grab the cuff of your jeans, and you're like, oh, it's cute. Oh my god, it's strong. And the thing was only it was
yeah,
not
man.
that big,
Yeah.
just muscle.
Tiny
just
little
while we're on the subject, other animals that are deceptively strong, Chinese short-clawed otters.
Yes.
We had to wear special boots whenever we went into their enclosure with metal backs because they would always go for your shins. Always. Always go for the shins. And see if one point one of the new guys didn't go in with his metal backs and they got a hold of his calf muscle, and they actually, these things are tiny, like they're about yay big, right?
Ew.
They dragged him to the ground.
Jesus.
Like they're strong. Anyway,
Did you get a new
Connell
guy?
Pitcat.
Was there a new guy?
Oh man, the stories I could tell you about, I'm not even going to go into it. Right? I'll tell them another time.
We should have a day. We should have a day of shit talking.
Yes.
Oh my
Some
god,
point. Just a day.
the worst first day of my life.
The Dauphin Street coterie shit talks.
Oh man, yeah.
Listen, you know how I feel. The camera, a bunch of high collar, stiff neck, snobby motherfuckers, and I'm about as low rent as you get. So you know that's not my deal.
I don't care what Romeo threatens us with. I am not wearing a tie. He's going to point to Celeste, and I'm not dressing like that.
It'd be an improvement.
You look like a doll.
Thank you.
I don't know. You get some eyeliner on him that might,
Everyone looks better with eyeliner.
You come near me with eyeliner, and I'll find a way to paint your insides.
Aw, Connell, come on. You look so handsome.
I will eat your nose.
You love me.
Nails are slowly getting longer.
And like this is apparently this is a thing. This is a thing for Maxine and Connell. I feel like it's just the needle.
Oh.
One of these these days
100%.
he's gonna come from a face. But until such time, this is hilarious.
It's funny until violence.
It's funny until violence. Celeste Sugar, you've been real quiet.
Because we wouldn't be in this mess if it weren't for me. And we'd be happily with the Anarchs right now. But the fact that they were so quick to turn on us just gives me pause.
We do have a meeting with Orianne. I intend to let her know that I would be willing to step into the tower. See what life is like on the other side of the tracks. Funnel back information if I can. You can come with me or stay where you are.
I'll come with you.
Let the pair of you go, then you'll both end up dead, and that's just something I don't want on my conscience. So I suppose I'm coming with you.
You say that like I am not capable of handling my shit, sir, and I
As
take
long as-
issue with that.
As long as that little pea-shooter of yours is next to you, I don't doubt you.
Maxine pulls it out of her boot, puts it back.
Connell does this and goes, ooh.
Shut up. Shall we?
Yes.
I need to make the both of you aware of something. As you both know, I am going to be calling a gather, bringing gangrel from local areas. If this is our decision, any gangrel who can be trusted, which are the majority of us, I'll be passing along a warning to him not to bid the words of Oriane much mind. If you have any loved ones that are in the area, loved ones who aren't kindred, I'd be recommending moving them. If the Anarchs know we have loved ones nearby, they could be used.
It's been a while since I've done any good renovation on this club. Could be it's time for a bit of a vacation. Let folks see their families. Well, what do we think?
Favor of joining the Camarilla?
At least by a word.
Never thought I'd be going back.
Don't suppose torpor is an option.
I mean, I could find a stake if you really want. We can throw you in the bayou. I got a nice old place by an old stomping grounds.
No,
Torpor's not an option for all of us.
Oh yeah, you got that thing where you can't go to Torpor, can you?
I just die.
No longer.
You just fucking
Yeah,
die. We should go talk
right.
to Oriane. We're at the bakery.
All
on that
right.
one.
Okay.
Just a sec.
Breaking
Get you
shit.
to the bakery.
Onward to the bakery.
To the bakery.
Welcome to the bakery. You get there. There is a door in the back that's open, and next to it there is like a locked door that leads into kind of the rest of it. And you can hear what sounds like the Crow soundtrack, just kind of coming through the door. You got a bit of the Cure going on right now, and you hear someone singing along, very off key, in there, and you hear this large, like, sounds like a large batter machine kind of going as it's something spinning back there, and you're hearing things being sort of added to it in there.
Would we? I'm assuming we would know where to meet Oriane.
Yeah, basically, there's a room in there that basically it's an entrance off the side that you can come in. That it's entrance to the rest of it, but nobody tends to go there. You're there before anybody else is. So the door has been left open.
Hold on. I I
Oh,
want to take a peek.
I thought you were doing like I thought you were like out of character. There's a moment where I'm like, oh, is something happening at your actual real life
No,
place for a second.
I'm staring. I'm staring at my character sheet,
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to figure my shit out. I would like to take a quick peek around with Sense the Unseen as we go through.
And that allows you to see like invisible stuff
Yep.
like that. Yeah, place itself is pretty like it's clear. There's nothing here in this area.
Mm-hmm. Even as we like go on through.
Yeah, kind of through. You just hear it coming from your guy, but every time I dance, every time I call your name, just sort of like coming through that door.
I'm a little bit nervous. It sounds like they're torturing someone.
No, they're just
Ah,
strangling
the
a cat.
crow's black dream, and then like kicks something along with the drums.
For that.
Hey, you see a car pull into the lot. It is Oriane's. She gets out of the back seat. Then Nasser gets out along with her. So a ghoul of hers is driving. The two of them kind of walk into the room with you. She goes,
Ma'am.
yes.
So, well, I understand that as a whole, the movement is unhappy with the three of us, given the circumstances of the past couple of nights. You know how things are in New Orleans. Word travels fast. Fast enough to reach the ear of the prince, who has extended invitations to the Ivory Tower.
She takes a moment and goes, and she takes a moment. Nasser sort of steps forward just a little bit. You see him tensing. He's not doing anything yet, but tensing up just a bit.
Bono matches his movements exactly.
Yeah, then it just like he just kind of like locks eyes with you.
Maxine reaches out and puts a hand on Connell's wrist. Just steady. This isn't a threat, ma'am. I view this as an opportunity. If they think we are so far on the outs that we would be willing to turn coat to submit to be crushed under that heel, well, I feel like it'd be a little silly not to take that opportunity. Now, I'm not sure what kind of information could be gleaned, but it's likely better than none.
Takes a moment and just kind of like, these are the meetings that you had with Abel at his place.
Aunt Tiki's?
Well, Birdie's told us all sorts of things. Connell wasn't with you, apparently. But that was somewhere in the open, knowing that they'd be seen. Now, the information that's come back to me has come back to me through some little birdies I have around the Camarilla with some of their people, along with Nosferatu. So, at the very least, they knew it would be public to at least a degree. So you're looking to go turncoat to give us information or to help us out?
Could be.
Just takes a moment and just sort of thinks a bit and goes, you simply go over that becomes suspicious. If you betray us, well, that might give them a reason to actually trust you. Might give us a reason to grandstand. Make it seem as if things are going poorly here. Flex my muscles a little bit with the others who see what they see as weakness as a problem, and possibly fix a number of these difficulties.
So really what we need is information, something that looks important, that might not necessarily be such, what do you call that, a red heron?
You want something that hurts me in particular. She just kind of thinks for a moment and goes, something that information that would make sense for you to have, not information that not information that I would have given you. There is a high stakes poker game. Millions of dollars get spent there. There's celebrities and others that are often a part of it. If that were to get hit, if that were to get stolen from, if the people there were to be killed, that's a strike that I can. It's embarrassing, but I can take, especially if things later on prove to be useful. It's a good chunk of money, but that can be set up somewhere else.
Embarrassing but manageable.
One of those fundings of the cash flows that Romeo would probably like to get his hands on or take out from me, and it's one that I can take the hit, but make sure that enough is set up that doesn't take care of it for too long. He doesn't have to know about all of that.
Think that'll work.
We'll
I
need a
think
way.
I think we need something bigger.
Just kind of takes.
Romeo's met with us a few times. He knows Maxine is vehemently against him in general. Celeste is about as likely to suddenly just change her mind and run back to the Camarilla as I am to suddenly start painting me toenails. And me willing to go under the boot of a prissy twat who wears three-piece suits and has more product in his hair than currently exists in the greater area. I don't think he's going to buy it over a poker game.
Poker game that
We're
nets me
gonna
several million a month.
Fucking money, Connell.
Bono just puts his hands up, just like, voice my words, they're heard.
She goes, do you have something else in mind?
I'm not the thinker. I'm not the smart one. I'm the one who understands how people work. That's all I do. I voice my opinion. That's that.
Because
Thing is,
I could make sure that there are some councilmen at that game, some good businessmen who are worth a decent amount, who I'm ready to cut loose. If they all end up not making it out alive, it causes me to scramble, but there's new blood that needed to go in those places anyway.
When the burn-ins first started, we didn't attack supply wagons. We found out who was in charge and we found their children. We threatened them. That's how we proved sides. When it came to infiltrating other areas, we brought the crowns of our kings, laid them at people's feet. We didn't bring other people. We brought a gut shot to the ones they wanted. If you can bring us someone that you know, if you can make sure someone that Romeo for a fact wants is at that game, we might be able to swing that.
What if I could get Anastasia there?
I will look to Maxine for an explanation of who this person is.
Anastasia Blaze
Maxine.
is a Toreador. Someone who's often at odds with Oriane. Is that how high you want to go? One of our own?
If you think it'll sell, the lie, then do it. If you think the money is enough, do that. As I said, I've spoken my words. They've been heard.
And smiles and goes, I think Connell has a knack for this. What about you, Celeste? Any ideas you have?
Look, if what we give up isn't good enough, this will ruin any chance of infiltrating them for the next 100 years. They'll know what kind of game they're playing. It'll never happen. So it needs to be big.
Deja is about as big as it gets. We never really got along that well anyhow.
Offer up a sacrificial lamb.
We can pass along the information.
Okay.
I think I might know a way that we can get that information across.
She kind of arches an eyebrow at Connell.
Some voices in the Anarchs haven't been heard for quite some time. Thin Bloods.
The Duskborn.
Yeah. See, and he's then gonna get like quite like vocal. See, now that reaction right there is why they're the people you should be relying on. You think they're nothing. And you know what? To a sense, maybe they are, but that's exactly why they won't go noticed.
Connell, give me a remember what's in this game as opposed to others. I do a thing in RuneQuest where I'm like, all right, give me a scan. Do your sense stuff roll. Go ahead and make an awareness. In this case, it'll be like wits plus awareness.
Oh,
Can I-
that's an awareness.
Can I
Okay.
offer assistance on that in any
This will
way,
just
shape,
be
or
just a
form?
thing that he might be able to see.
Balls.
Haha. No.
No.
I'm blind.
Okay.
Can't see a goddamn thing.
Unless you wanted to spend willpower to try to.
How much willpower have I got? I've got 4.
You haven't
Yeah,
actually
cool.
done a whole lot with willpower.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'll spend one.
So if you hit
I'll spend.
the little
I'll spend 3. I'll spend 3. I'll spend 3.
Do you have to spend?
You can spend a willpower to roll up to 3 dice.
Yep.
Oh, right. So it's 1 willpower to re-roll 3 dice.
Yeah. Well, yeah. One willpower reroll up to 3 regular does not include hunger, which y'all don't have right now.
Okay. Hold on.
We're still full.
Something is stopped. No discount. No, doesn't work. How do I roll 3 dice?
Oh, so if you just want to grab the D.
Got it.
Yeah. Because you can hit the thing that the little SP.
That's
Yep.
better.
Yeah. So you
That's
did.
2. I can't remember what they're called. 2 critical successes. 2
Yeah. So
10s and a
it's six total. Here's the thing. When you say about the Thin Bloods, Nasser has a moment where he like looks at you a little bit, but the moment she kind of scoffs at it, you see his he stiffens up a little bit. You see him become a lot more careful, kind of behind his eyes. And when you mention they're the ones you should be listening to, he actually softens a little bit.
Yeah, Thin Blood.
No, he's a Bruja. He's quite powerful. Definitely not a Thin Blood.
Right. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna give him a very, very knowing, like narrowing of the eyes. Like I saw that. Like just conveying it purely with the eyes before looking back at Orion.
Yeah, he keeps himself very contained on when you do that, but.
And then I'll continue. I mean, if someone like yourself in the lowly Anarchs is going to view even our own Thin Bloods as being worth being cast off, What do the Camarilla and the Ivory Towers think of theirs? The people you're not willing to listen to are the ones who can do you the best of good in this moment in time. Now, the Thin Bloods came to me asking for me to speak on their behalf because someone who aggressively has stood against any form of rule or law is still better than the person who was literally chosen to speak on their behalf in their eyes. So if you start listening to them, they might be able to be the ones feeding what we're learning over to you.
He just takes a moment and goes, you can be sure that he gets it through those channels?
I can be sure that the Thin Bloods that have approached me will very much want to keep me on their good side.
Contact Romeo, let him know. It'll take a day or so for me to get everything arranged, but we'll make sure that the hit causes some chaos. It'll look a lot worse than it will actually be for me, but it will not be an easy thing to lose. If you fuck this one up too, join the Camarilla.
Ma'am, one last thing. When it comes to the Duskborn, I understand the whispers around our kind about them. What they're meant to mean. Being looked down on like that can cause a lot of anger. A lot of misplaced fear and rage. I understand that for the most part they are thought of as lesser, as less than, as nothing. But I also hear that there's a decent amount of them. Might be an untapped resource, as Connell said, not just for this, but as a whole. Just a thought.
Well, if you're able to show me, do so. I spend my time having to try to keep the Anarchs moving in the same direction, which is essentially like herding cats. You have a lot of people who believe they should have power without the actual structure the Camarilla has to make that a lot easier. Being Baron is keeping your head barely above water all the time. If they are useful, I have a place for them. I have not had the time to find out.
No. Could be this is their audition then.
Just set up your networks. I'll let it drop in a few days where it is. There's some ghouls and ghouls that work with the Thin Bloods that could let something slip to get back to you.
Gonna look to Connell and Celeste.
Connell will shake his head. He's got nothing. He's got nothing else that he wants to say.
I'm good.
Suppose at this point we are technically on the opposite side of things. Fun little bit of play acting that.
I'm sure we can all make a convincing show of hating each other.
We'll see what kind of information we can funnel back, ma'am. It'll take some time for us to get new equipment. I can't imagine we're going to want to take our actual phones into a fray like this. A couple of burners, that sort of thing. Make sure we're going to be able to keep contact without leading them directly back to you.
Phones. It just seems like a waste.
Better safe than cut off.
Right. Anything else we need to stand around and do, or do we get out of here?
Anything else for us, ma'am?
Nope. I'll be in contact.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure.
Connell is gonna do a real big, like, sweeping bow in a very, very sarcastic manner before getting up and just like as he's walking out, just like click his tongue and have Pushin like jump down and follow him out.
Okay.
Maxine rolls her eyes.
I'm saying right now, if these guys ever harm my cat, I will straight up diablerize like 9 vampires in a row just to fucking go for them.
I feel like that's not an idea that you want to plant in the storyteller's head, my guy.
It was already played in the storyteller's head. It was already there. I've seen the wheels turning. I'm a DM. I understand these machinations.
These machinations.
I will have your cat fall in love with someone, and I will have them break up via text, but still come around and ask, listen, I do still care about you. It's just I'm in a bad position right now. And then your cat will be like, Carl, you understand. You don't understand. We'll be together again.
Pushin just gets in a text saying, hey, you up.
Oh, God. Yeah, Maxine's going to do, like, if she rolls her eyes any harder, she's going to roll herself into another dimension. That's the level of eye roll that just happened.
I feel like, see when we're walking by the bakery bin? Like, the big thing with the mixer and shit like that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is it too petty to spit in it?
That's mean.
You have to go in the next room. The thing you're in right now doesn't actually. There's a door that goes through there, but it is currently closed.
I mean, if it was like an on the way petty thing, I would consider it. But I'm not going out of my way to be petty.
No, it's on the way petty, minimal petty.
Oh, there's multiple levels of petty. I'm a Scotsman. We understand this. There are multiple levels of petty. This is not a level of petty I'm willing to stoop to yet.
Yeah. No. Orion gets like a nod. And Nasir gets like a. She saunters out.
I want to know this. Like, what is this thing with Nasir? Is Nasir the guy that I've like already said that I'm going to fucking kill? No, he's the Camarilla. He's the Camarilla.
Nasir's the Reeve, which is essentially like the Anarch version of the sheriff. He's the enforcer that kind of helps Oriane keep the Anarchs in line.
Yeah. And Maxine's just messing with him because she can.
I am the law.
And the thing is, what you generally know is Nasir's trying to keep. A lot of times, the Anarchs, unlike the Camarilla, they don't tend to want someone who is all up for beating down upon. He doesn't want a cop, essentially, because
nobody wants a cop.
Yeah, part of the way the Anarchs work. They have their freedom. They've gone against the Camarilla. They just need someone with enough power to help the person in charge stay in charge.
Do that.
So, he's also works like as a bodyguard essentially as well.
Yeah.
So here's my plan. We pretend that we're in the Camarilla. We get powerful by doing the whole blood hunt stuff, right? Then we come back, we kill everybody who's in charge of the Anarchs, we put Maxine in Oriane's position, and then we get the money. And then we get the bitches.
There are a few question mark steps there, but
kill Anarchs, get money, question mark, bitches.
Profits.
100% flawless plan. Yeah. And how do you get by all the security and stuff? Potato.
Potato.
We'll figure it out.
The same way any Irishman would. What? Aggressive drunken behavior.
I use my power of comedic flash forwards. We're like, oh my god, all the people are there. And then it just cuts to me walking out of a building exploding.
With a pair of sunglasses, even though Connell doesn't wear sunglasses.
Because we only ever come out at night.
Connell walks away real suave, putting on a pair of sunglasses as the building blows up, then going, the fuck? I can't see shit.
That one fucking song from The Who playing in the background.
Yep.
I really want to know.
Okay. So we have some shit to prepare.
Yep.
Burner phones. We need burner phones, basically. And Connell needs to talk to the fucking Finbloods
I need to talk to them.
and the gangrel.
Oh, yeah, I need to talk to Gangrel too. Fuck. Yeah.
Fuck.
Gangrel have a tendency to be like getting the Gangrel together takes a while generally.
Shit.
Yeah, putting out a gather, like when you put out
God.
when you put out the call for a gather, like you're basically sending out like a signal across. Like it's not like a text message going, "Hey, yo, wanna meet?" It's like from the way I've read it and understood it, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's like through the wilds. Like you put it out through like your famulus and through animalistic conversation and such, and these guys just put the hummingbird told me there's a gather. Quickly flee.
Which hummingbird was it? Was it Stephen? No, Stephen
It was
likes to fuck
Charles.
with. Oh, Charles.
It
It was
Charles.
Charles. That
Fucking
cunt.
Steven.
Stephen told me there was a gather once, and I went all the way to Chicago for nothing.
100% convinced that you know the old meme that the birds work for the bourgeoisie. 100% the birds just spend their days alerting the gangrel to false gathers. 100%.
You know that video that there are no birds, like the whole bird conspiracy thing.
Birds aren't real.
Birds aren't
Yeah.
real.
That's Kendo in that video. Kendo, who was supposed to be with us for this.
Oh,
Because he mentioned that once. I'm like, oh come on. He found the video, and I'm like, shit.
Kendo. We were gonna have a Ventru on the team. I'm still
Kendo's
fucking
great.
salty about that shit. God damn it.
Yeah. We need to bring in some new bloods.
We need we need
Yeah.
we need
No
a fucking
blood.
Ventru on our side, man. Okay. So yeah, we need fucking burner phones. We need to talk to the Thin Bloods.
So I'm pretty sure Connell knows where he can find the Thin Bloods. The call for the gather's already been put out. I think we should also arrange to meet Romeo.
Here's okay. We're going back to the club at this point is what's happening. This is conversation that is happening as we are returning. once we've returned to the safety of the haven. I don't think that all of us should be discussing this with Romeo at once. Nala at one go.
There are some. If we are taking this risk, and if I am aware, actually, very quickly, storyteller, is there a way we can determine that we are not being listened to? Like, is there a way we can determine there's no Nosferatu, none of these little flies and shit around this place?
Generally, I think you have to have fairly high levels of like auspex or some of those other things, possibly animalism, if they're in the flies and such to determine that. That's one of the things that makes it so difficult is you never quite know when someone's paying attention.
Could I possibly make an animal kin check?
That won't help for figuring out if a
No?
Nosferatu
Okay.
is taking over
Right.
they'll take over flies and stuff like that. That's one of the things that makes them so goddamn knowledgeable.
Yeah, I would say Maxine has probably made it very difficult for electronic surveillance to be placed in the office.
What
At
about
the very least.
Celeste's home?
Huh?
Because that's warded.
Yeah, it's worded.
Oh, it's fully warded?
Yep.
Maybe we should do that instead. To
Yeah,
the
so
haunted
that-
ass.
In that case, Connor will probably bring up Celeste. You're going to have to take us to your place. There are some things we need to discuss.
Just a heads up, it's haunted, so just ignore the ghosts.
Also, I've not cleaned in a while. Don't judge me. I was not expecting any of you to be here.
There's
Hey,
I
nothing
do
guys.
live
open.
in the basement of a library, so
Stay tuned for when we eventually play Ghost, where Celeste, where Hallie plays her own roommate. I love the idea of playing something like Wraith, where it's just like you don't do anything like fight or anything. It's just melancholy.
Yep.
Welcome to sadness.
I want to play a half-assed poltergeist. It's like you could wreck houses, yeah, but I just like pushing vases off the counters.
Just a cat.
So you're just a cat. No, I'm a bit more than a cat. Why? I also flip dinner plates.
Slam doors, break blinds.
Move
You
everything
don't.
3
No, you
inches to
can't.
the right.
No, you can't. Oh my god. He hides the batteries. I hate batteries.
Okay.
Oh no, I hate charger cables. I'm. If we ever play Wraith, can I be the poltergeist that is the reason that somehow your headphones are always tangled up in your pocket?
Just like walks away going tee.
Okay, so we're going to Celeste.
Yeah, we're going to
Yes.
Celeste
Okay, because it's fucking warded.
to meet apparently our future characters.
Pretty worried too. Yeah, I've got 3 points into warding, so
By the way, Michael, I'm being 100% serious. I want to play Wraith. I want to be a passive aggressive poltergeist.
All right. What's it look like?
yeah.
Hallie, what's
So
it look like?
Celeste lives in the basement of an old library. So it's all like bookshelves and pretty dusty and stuff, but she tried to make it kind of feel homey by like hanging curtains and a lot of drapery off the walls. There are floor pillows everywhere, candles, various tarot cards, crystals, things that kind of look ritualistic for her pagan antics that she used to do.
Any of them recognizably Celtic pagan?
Hmm.
Because, that's kind of Connell's
Yeah.
whole shtick.
Probably not specifically,
Right.
but things that might have originated there and then been changed throughout the years since you might have seen them.
Stuff that's evolved.
Yeah. 'Cause I don't know. Do
Connell
Celtic
just
pagans use
gives
like
them-
sounding bowls or anything like that? She might have like a bowl for that. She's got like her ritual dagger. Like,
I mean, ritual daggers are kind of
Ritualistic daggers is something they would do. Celtic crosses, Celtic knotwork was very, very
she
prominent.
probably would have some
Um,
Celtic knotwork or at least books on them around her.
Connell just goes around to the ones that have been adapted. And it's just like, wrong. Getting slowly more and more angry.
All right, you old
Right.
fart.
This is literally my culture.
All right, you old fart.
Yeah. Now that we're here, Connell looks for a place that is not covered in some kind of pillow or plushie or something like that.
Good
Somewhere
luck.
and then just kind of like realizes there isn't and just kind of perches precariously
You
on
get eaten
something.
by the
Like
beanbag
sitting
chair.
super uncomfortably on it. Like,
Sits on the beanbag and is like, I can't get up. I can't get up.
Give me.
Before just kind of like giving up and just like remaining there, kind of like just swallowed.
Like he sits down and it like slowly eats him.
Yeah. The deeper and deeper it gets, the more his eyes are just burning into Celeste. Like,
it's like a nest.
the reason I wanted to come here, if we are really considering doing this, if we are considering playing both sides with the idea of looking to see which one we give our permanent allegiance to, we need to make Romeo think that we are actively gunning for a side shift, which means we need to ask for something in return for this information.
He knows I would be willing to learn more from the other Tremere there.
Okay.
It wouldn't be that out of character for me to go and just ask him.
Maxine, anything you could ask for to better sell
Well,
this ruse?
better protection for the club is always an option. Never say no to more money. I'm a simple gal.
I'm going to be asking him for something that the Camarilla has floated in front of me for a bit of time now. So I'm going to ask him for a position of power, a place in their hierarchy, something I never had in the Anarchs, something to sell what he's, something to sell a change. Just so we're clear. Are we considering this a permanent move if the cards line up that way?
Well, if we fuck up too badly, Orianne will just have us all meet the final death. So.
She can fucking try.
She is very old, my darling.
I think we'll just have to wait and see if it becomes more of a permanent move.
To be fair, I wouldn't put it past Orianne to use this as a way to get us out of the way. She's hurting, and we made it that way.
She was ready to sacrifice others with a quickness. I would not put it past her to just toss us to the wayside here.
No.
You know, when I was changed, when I was embraced, leaders had spines. I don't know how far we've fallen to end up in this sorry state.
Oh, baby. This is America. It is every fucking kindred for themselves, every fucking human for themselves. If you don't watch your own back, someone's gonna put a fucking stake in it.
You really
Whether or
have to be
not-
lecturing me about getting a stake through the heart. Do you forget where I was for over 1,000 years?
Yeah. Honor died in this country centuries ago. It is kill or be killed around these parts.
Perhaps that has to be the first thing that changes.
With you on that.
Brand, my auditory processing turned that to garble. What did you say?
He said perhaps that has to be the first thing that changes.
You can't change it without protecting yourself.
No.
Best thing is the Prince of New Orleans is everyone goes to therapy. And all of us will sit down and discuss our problems and find a cooperative and maybe a union that helps us continue in peace.
If you could say union to an Irishman.
Oh God!
It's the fucking British.
Bleh. All right. So,
Is there anything that you guys think we need to discuss while we cannot be heard?
I think we're all in the same boat, right? Just
I think it might be a good idea to go to Romeo one at a time.
yeah.
Make it look like we're all struggling on our tight ropes, as it were.
Well, I'm gonna go see the Thin Blood.
Okay.
I could head there afterwards.
All right. I'll give it a day or two. Shoot him a message. Celeste, it might actually make sense if we go together since we were both there to talk to
Yeah.
Abel.
All right. We want to have like a day pass, and then see the Thin Bloods and see Bromeo.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Connell will get Celeste because that's his go-to for technology. Connell will get Celeste to text. I've forgotten her name. The head of the Thin
Isolde?
Bloods. Yeah, telling her to meet him on the border of the Anarchs and Camarilla territory, right where like the boundary line is, as if like directly after it, he's crossing the boundary in to speak to Romeo.
All right.
No. No man's land.
So
Yeah, pretty much meeting in no man's land.
why don't we? Do we want to take about a 10-minute break, bio break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
take a
that
break.
sounds like a good idea.
We will take a 10-minute bio break, and then we will come back and see what you're doing with all of the Camarilla and the Thin Bloods.
God, I can't believe I decided that was what we were gonna do.
We'll be back in 10.
I like it though.
Shit. Shit.
Let's fucking do this shit.
All right.
Shit, dick, nuts, shit.
Yeah, so by the end of it, we couldn't tell what was poo and what was chocolate.
Oh,
Gotta
thank
see
you,
it
Brandon.
through.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you.
If y'all want to make a rouse check for the
You're
next
welcome.
day,
Oh,
No.
can I not?
we're gonna start giving you some hunger.
Not me.
Me.
Connell's like, I'm feeling peckish.
I'm
Little
getting
You go for a little snack.
hungry.
Little snack.
Everyone else
go
is
for
going
the
like, I
sneaky
don't know. I
snack.
had a hippie, and it has just stuck with me. Just kind of sticks to your ribs, you know.
That's what happens when you eat a fucking frat boy.
The one I got was scrawny.
Next time, I don't get the pledge. That's all I'm saying. I get the full-fledged one.
Next time I'm taking the left tackle and not the quarterback. All right.
All right. So we've got Connell getting together with Isolde, and
Yeah.
where were you two going?
I'm making sure that we've got burner phones and the like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna speak to Isolde, then go straight to Romeo. I'm going to be the first one to speak to Romeo, and then I think Maxine and Celeste were going to go speak to him together after I was done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Where do you meet Isolde?
Right on the border between the Camarilla and the Anarchs.
Okay.
Essentially, no matter how small the area is, that could be defined as no man's land.
Okay. Are you trying to be seen where you're being got, or are you trying to be out of the way? Not necessarily trying to be seen, but you're aware that you could be seen, or are you trying to find yourself someplace?
In this instance, he is trying not to be seen,
Okay.
and ipso facto trying to not have Isolde seen.
Okay. There's a market that has a couple ways into it. That's a semi-open air. In the evening, you get lots of like tourists and such that head through, which is not a bad place to sort of find a little area.
Okay. Then, yeah, if Isolde is there, then I'll just kind of like, if I can get her attention, kind of nudge to like an area where we can just look like we're standing looking at stalls.
Okay. Yeah, she's kind of going through and looking over. It's like it's the bullshit new age stuff. It's the stuff that people kind of coming through are gonna buy. Come home like, look, I'm dangerous. Then I'm gonna cry about it because Jesus doesn't.
Like the leather cuffs with Thor's hammer on them and stuff like that kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's sort of looking through those on one side of a rack.
As she approaches in a very, very unconnell fashion, I'm going to kind of smile, walk over, kind of like, that one-armed lean in, kind of hug, and be like, act natural.
She goes,
and then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, she's kind of like just sort of looks through and just sort of smiles and goes, "What do you think of this?" And then like holds open. It's a book of Celtic magic.
I just starts the urge to actively vomit.
Just starts flipping through, and is like kind of low key, like in a lower voice, sort of explaining, "Well, this is blah blah blah." Just looking like sort of the new age friend who's showing her friend something.
Connell is going to say there is something that I can do that will guarantee your kind and your clan a bit more prominence and a bit more some more willing ears to listen.
She goes,
if you can pull off what we're asking you to do.
There's this moment where she kind of stops and just sort of looks before coming back, and she goes, "How bad is it what you need us to pull off?"
To any that are tasked with what will be happening several times, it could be very, very dangerous. But the rewards for it are the ear of Orianne herself.
It's a big promise.
I heard it from her mouth. She will be willing to listen if you can do this job correctly.
I don't know how much I trust that, but how big is what you're talking?
There's going to be a defection.
At that point, she just sort of stops and looks at you. Defection. You?
We need people who nobody will think twice about to be able to be seen. Sorry, not to be seen. No. Sorry, that's not what I meant to say. Who can go unseen and carry information between ourselves and Oriane. I can get the information a certain distance. I need somebody to be able to carry it the rest of the way. Now,
we can do that.
good. I don't know how long this kind of thing will go on for. So there has to be as minimal contact as possible between the Thin Bloods and myself.
People don't pay a lot of attention. If there's a way you need to get information, we can probably do a pickup. We can also do that during the day.
Good. I can have Pushin carry information during the day as well.
None of us are looking at that point.
Now, how this information gets to you, I'll be able to convey within the next day or so. Once we have everything finalized for the defection itself. Listen and wait for my word. Once you hear, you come immediately to the Domina Club. Don't take no for an answer. Go straight to Maxine's office. I'll meet you there.
This better work out.
It will. Now, push me away and punch me in the jaw.
Just sort of smiles. I said stay the fuck back. And then storms off.
As I kind of recalls, and then he's going to turn towards where he's now, like he's in Camarilla territory, and start making his way towards Romeo's place.
Okay.
And while he's holding his jaw, he's going to be actively like rubbing it, like is it like forcefully, to try and make it, like aggravate it a little bit.
Okay. And what are Maxine and Celeste doing during this?
I think we're just getting ready with like getting the burner phones together and
yeah, it's not, especially through some of the contacts at the club or through the cult, either one. It's not going to be hard to kind of pick up some burner phones, some that have got like a number of minutes on them that are not going to
good old-fashioned track phone.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Maxine would want to make sure that anything pertinent is locked up at the club, anything that leads directly back to Oriane and the Anarchs. I'm assuming there's some kind of a safe under her desk, like firebox kind of a thing. I would say there's probably a secondary cell phone. One that is not her main phone, like one that's attached to only like a Google Voice number or something. Completely separate from the one that she uses for like the nightly business. And that will be the one that she starts to carry around. And basically anything that could get traced back to Oriane, she's going to start slowly
divesting of,
destroying, what have you.
Celeste, similar things, or?
Yeah, I was just toying with the idea of possibly putting feelers out to other Tremere. No, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I was thinking just kind of like, no, nope, not doing that.
I have one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maxine is going to make sure that in the event of her untimely demise, the club and all of its assets are transferred to one Miss Jamie.
Okay. Does Jamie know about that?
Nope.
All right.
We're also letting Entovich not know exactly what's going on, but it's likely going to be a little messy. Do you have people in town?
And who is this you're talking to again?
Antovich, our driver bodyguard
Okay.
person.
That was an Uber driver you had a couple times?
He's not our Uber driver. He's the guy that's been like around for a while.
Okay.
He's like Maxine's driver.
The guy that knows some stuff but doesn't know everything.
Okay.
Thanks for like the mob or something like that.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. Was that this game with the? We're like, wouldn't it be funny if it was the same person? I think it's the same person. Yeah, I don't think that would make. Could have been a masks thing. Anyway, yeah. He goes, yeah, got that. I can, I got my gig. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Renat Ed. Your Russian informant for the domain knows there's something with cartel magic. Yeah.
Yeah. He knows what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on, but he knows what's going on.
Yeah, he goes, I can keep low. I can make sure that things are okay.
Yeah. You've been a great help to me over the past couple of years. I'd hate to have that change.
Just keep yourself alive.
It'll be fine. It's fine. And then Maxine has a couple of people. The last tethers to the human life. Sophie Ann, baby sister.
Mm-hmm.
And the gentleman who was a bouncer at the old club.
Marcus?
Yep. They're going to get a little windfall. And the opportunity to do a little travel outside of the city of New Orleans.
Okay. You have this come through other people?
Yeah.
Okay. So that stuff drops in. And Celeste?
I don't really have anything else to prepare here. So I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. All right, so we want Connell there first, or do we want Celeste and Maxine to show up first?
Connell's first.
Okay, and
Connell's first.
are you all going to end up with him at the same time, or are these going to be totally separate things?
I thought we were going to do it like when Connell returns, you guys go in.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a little time so it doesn't look like we're converging. We want to make it look like we're fracturing a little bit. Is the idea? There's some trouble in the coterie.
Okay.
So Connell will approach the same like restaurant place where we've met Romeo a few times.
Okay.
Kind of making it clear as he approaches, like holding his jaw and being like, like hand up, like not armed, coming in peace, all that jazz.
One of his guys kind of comes forward and is just like, looks you over and go, "The fuck do you want, Anarch?"
A word with your boss, if that's not too much of an issue. And I wouldn't be calling me Anarch.
Is he expecting you?
No, he's not. But trust me when I say this, Precious, he'll probably want to hear what I've got to say.
Okay. He kind of turns to someone, lets him know. They go up. A moment later, you see Romeo and Aladdin, his sort of sheriff, sort of poke their head into the kind of the bar itself, look down. Romeo just sort of gets you like a steady eye, and you see a very like a tiny nod to his head as then he goes, "Fuck off." He heads out. Aladdin starts coming down towards you. Like as he's coming down, people are getting out of the way.
As he approaches, I just keep my hand where it can be seen, like, again, like, taking my hand away as if, like, almost like to check for any kind of major injury, like showing any sign of injury that would be there.
Yeah.
Before then, just going back for like one more rub and then like just enough in it and then just putting both hands up.
So as he kind of comes straight up towards you, and you see him as he just kind of looks like so looks you in the eye. There's a door to this side, and there's just this moment where he just looks straight in the eye, and then looks over at the door, and then looks back at you. Eyes go a little bit wide, see his head go down a little bit. As he goes, "The fuck you showing your face here for?"
I've decided this side of town seems a little bit more inviting, and I'd like to discuss that with. And he would look up to where Romeo was and then be like, whoever's willing to listen.
It was really hot, and he kind of like as he grabs you kind of by the shirt, he starts pushing you, and it's not a terribly hard push. It looks harder than it actually is, but he's pushing you towards that door.
I'll keep my hands where I can see and just kind of go, I literally came here of my own free will. I can walk.
Okay. He looks at two of the guys who kind of kick open the door, and there's like a storage area back there. It's sort of like a bar back area.
Ronald goes in willingly. He doesn't need to be pushed. And as he walks in, he wears like this like really kind of like baggy kind of like almost hippie-esque like hoodie. Or not hoodie, like cardigan. Like knitted like cardigan. And he'll remove that because it's quite loose flowing. And he'll hold it out with a wide arm, drop it, and then rotate.
Yeah.
So that it can be seen he's not hiding anything, he's not sporting anything.
When the door shuts, Aladdin's got two of his men sort of with. He just looks at the men and goes, "Just make some noise." And they start like kicking some of the things in there, so it sounds like a fight or something's going on. And Aladdin just holds his hand and goes, "Just wait a second." And then through the wall behind you, you see Romeo coming in, and he's holding in his hand, like part of a shattered mirror. As he kind of just steps through the wall, and then just drops that shard, falls to the ground, and shatters. And behind you, go, just, and you hear like some noises as they're kicking essentially the door once in a while, making some noises, like a bit of a tussle's going on. And Romeo just sort of looks and goes, "All right, you made an entrance. A lot of people saw you. What are you here for?"
The Anarchs isn't what I want anymore. Enough of your kind have made it clear that someone like me would be better versed over than the Camarilla. I want to discuss that being an option.
Things must be getting bad. Oriane's grasp on power that tenuous.
Orion's grasp on power doesn't mount to shite. She has to rely on banking against her own kin. When I was embraced, there was honor. That's not there anymore.
He kind of smiles. He just goes, "Fortunately, honor's not a thing that exists too much among us anymore. You get a bunch of immortals together, they start looking as who can make the most of their afterlife. We got a lot more people, but I have a feeling that there was a lot more spread out in your day, a little easier to live your life. But for
Also
us,
made it a lot easier for me to learn how to work with people. That's what I can bring to you.
what the Camarilla has, the Anarchs don't. Is we are an organization. We try our best to work together with as few problems. I mean, any corporation's going to have its people who are a pain in the ass. But at least we're all pushing the same direction." Now, granted, your kind, Gangrel don't have a tendency to stick with the Camarilla anymore unless things get particularly bad. So I gotta tell you, I'm expecting a bit of a Trojan horse coming this way. I'm looking to see if there's any Spartans or Trojans or whatever sort of hidden up inside of it.
I don't know about Greeks and shite up in this place, okay? What I do know about are what you've seen of me so far. I wasn't willing to hold a lie for the sake of the Anarchs when I was in your company last. Do you see me as the kind who would lie?
Sort of takes a
I'll
look.
ask it in a better I'll ask it in a better manner of you, Romeo. Despite the fact that I openly know that you despise me and I've never been your biggest fan, have I ever lied to you?
I'm unaware of any lying that you did because I don't think did you out of character. Did you speak much at the last meeting?
He didn't. The only time he spoke was when Celeste put her foot in it and um, Connell spoke up and told the truth,
Yeah.
but not the entirety of the truth.
He goes, well, you were put in a position where any secrets that may have had to have been kept were let out of the bag. I gotta tell you, Oriane Fury, that Celeste Little misspeaking was, she lost an advantage that night and she was aware of it.
I was glad she lost that advantage. In fact, when Celeste spoke up, it gave me a freedom I hadn't felt in the Anarch for a while because it meant that if the cat was out the bag, I could actually do what us gangrel are supposed to be: honest, blunt.
I'll be honest and blunt with you. You know what I believe in more than most things?
Hmm.
The ideas of the Anarchs, that you've got this great group of people who work together simply because it is in their best interest. Well, I tell you, I look around this world and ain't a goddamn thing I've ever seen that gets people working together in their best interests that isn't used by somebody. What I do believe in is what two people coming together have to offer one another.
Right.
Because
Now,
if,
see, I can't. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
because if I need something from you and you need something from me, we are able to supply that. We are in a position where we can at least trust that we're both coming into this relationship for good reasons, or for at least open reasons.
Basic idea of supply and demand, then.
True.
Yeah. See, now that's something I can't do. I can't give you something between two people. I can give you something between a group of people.
Well, I'm listening.
I can give you a person.
You might want to narrow that
And
down a little bit.
if you can give me time to solidify a setting and a place, I can give you Anastasia. Laid out, silver platter for the picking. All I need are two things. One, me and mine within the Camarilla. Second thing, I'm not leaving the Anarchs to be quiet. People respect my name and respect my words. I'm willing to work my way up, but I want a platform to stand on to begin with. You give me that, and I swear to you, on my honor, I'll give you Anastasia on a silver platter. And if I can wing it, or if people who are smarter than me can wing it, maybe something more.
It kind of takes a moment and goes, Anastasia is a hell of a fatted calf to offer up.
Don't you know? I'm Irish. We know about slaughtering beef.
Sort of smiles and goes, it's more vicious than I would have expected out of you.
What's the
Tell you
last
what.
thing the Anarchs have done that benefited me? Why should I do anything more to benefit them without gaining anything from it? There's no way for me to move up with them. However, you, despite the fact that I'm loath to admit it, you're smart. Smarter than Oriane. You can acknowledge somebody's of use when you see them. That's why you dealt with me and Maxine and Celeste being around here.
'Cause if you can get me Anastasia, having a place for you, Camarilla, will not be hard at all. Granted, there ain't a whole lot of gangrel, so gangrel primogen would be, in certain respects, a title mostly in name, but give you power, give you access, put you on the council. That's definitely a possibility.
Okay.
Plus, it'd be a thumb in the eye of Oriane.
So this beef comes with gravy as well. Fantastic.
He sort of smiles and goes, "Yeah, I think we can make that work."
Cornell will spit in his hand and offer it.
Shakes your hand.
Like I said, all I need is a day or two to solidify where, when. As soon as I know, you'll know.
Yep. All right, he goes, "You can go."
And he just puts his hand up, picks up his cardigan, puts it back on, and he'll begin to make his way back.
All right. For Maxine and Celeste, are you tell me how you're headed over there?
Honestly, we'd probably and Hallie, correct me if this seems far-fetched to you. Give it like a day or a night, maybe. Let Romeo have his information from Connell. Would Connell have let us know what it was?
Well, I was going to say, Connor would come back and say to you, I've offered up Anastasia. You guys offer him the poker game. And let him know you guys have heard my grumblings. You've had your own grumblings. You've decided to come with. You guys can get Anastasia to the poker game. Or you guys can get the poker game if I can get Anastasia there.
Yeah.
That way it sets up. I've already said to him, I don't know where, I don't know when, but I can get you Anastasia. You guys come in with, we've got the poker game.
By the by, yeah, and I'm assuming we're having this conversation in the warded fucking library basement.
Yes.
Oh, fucking hells, yes.
No, technically we moved on, so therefore it is in character for you to be saying it in the open.
And what was the position that he offered?
Primogen is essentially, think of the ruling council of the Camarilla.
Oh.
Usually there's one per clan.
One per clan.
And the thing is gangrels for the most part have left. So
I'll make that known. I'll make that known to them as well that he's offered me the Primogen for Clan Gangrel.
And here I thought you didn't want to be in charge of folk.
I don't, but I have to be seen to be making a change, otherwise they'll just think it's what was it you said, a Greek horse or some shit like that.
Trojan horse.
That one.
Uh,
I don't know what a brand of condoms has got to do with this though.
No, baby, it's
You know the brand of condoms, but not the country.
I picked up social matters.
oh baby.
Gangrel's got a
like
gangrel.
Gangrel's got it.
You know, every now and again, a little rut in the hay doesn't hurt anybody.
Connell, thank God you're pretty.
I'm pretty.
That's all Maxine gets. It's just like does one of these. It's just thank God you're pretty.
Ooh, Maxine says I'm pretty.
So yeah, we'll trade information in the warded ass library.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
the library of the ass.
The library of the ass. Lord. Here we go. Why am I sweaty?
All right.
Sweaty.
You said you wait a day?
Yeah, we're gonna wait a night.
Yeah.
Make a rouse check, everybody.
Nope, that's not what I want.
Woo!
Yay!
All right.
Oh no!
Maxine's
that's
feeling a little
this?
peckish.
I succeeded. Why is it red?
Oh, because you have a hunger die. The thing is for rouse checks, the hunger die. I don't think. Is there
All right, okay.
is there a call? It doesn't matter in that sense. It just replaces it.
Okay, awesome.
All right. So
Boy.
Maxine is done the fuck up. Perfect makeup. Perfectly coiffed hair. Flawless black 1940s style, like very Marilyn Wiggle dress with a big red rose in her hair. And pearls, of course.
This is my stealth outfit.
This is my subterfuge outfit.
This is
And
my
Celeste?
subterfuge outfit.
Oh, I'm just wearing my normal alternative vibe.
He said he wanted me to join back with them multiple times. I'm not trying too hard.
But Maxine's also extra, so I feel like
Oh,
this
yes.
should be she runs a burlesque club. Come on.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
There's a level of extra that is to be expected.
I just have to give you a little shit for it.
It's the rose. It's the Toreador. It's one of those things where like I feel like the clan pride is gonna like
yeah.
a little bit over the sect pride, to be perfectly honest. Let's be real. Okay, we're gonna go do the thing.
Is that the funky 44?
And as Maxine walks into the bar, she's gonna activate awe.
Okay. One thing, let me just check something on awe real quick. Because I might be thinking of older versions. Some of those, oops, wrong one, work differently a little bit on vampires than they do on.
It's not necessarily that she's trying to dazzle anybody. It's just,
A little extra.
wants to make Romeo understand what he's potentially getting,
Okay.
what she brings to the table.
All right. Yeah, I think. Does that have let me double check. Does that have a rouse check with it?
I don't think Odd does. Hold on.
Because if it doesn't, I'm kind of like, why just not make it a passive? Oh. Just check in the book real quick just to make sure they haven't forgot. 167.
Add the present rating, please.
Here we go. Nope, it is free.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
walk in looking a little more fabulous than usual.
Okay. You come in
There's like an extra sparkle to the eye.
a little more fabulous.
A little more fabulous.
Yeah, you're made pretty quickly as you come in because they know who you are. A couple of the of his muscle sort of come up, and one of them sort of looks and goes, "What do you two want?"
Well, we've got an invitation, sugar.
Romeo expecting you?
He's offered invitations in the past. Told me if I ever wanted to come back, I could. So here I am.
I got to go back, and someone heads up to talk to him. A little bit later, somebody comes down and goes, "You want to come into the VIP room?" And it's one of the rooms in the back that people can rent out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Follows along the
Yeah.
click, 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 click of red bottom heels.
All right. You're in there for a bit, and then you see Romeo and Aladdin come in. Shut the door behind them, and he goes, "Celeste, so good to see you. Maxine?"
Hello, sugar.
What do I owe this to?
We we had a little chit chat with Abel.
I'm aware.
We've had some time to consider what he was offering. And we've chosen to accept.
Takes a moment and just sort of grabs a seat and goes, "So how bad are things getting over there for you two?"
I've never seen someone so willing to throw her own people to the wolves as that little bitch.
This feels weird. You're not here with Connell. I thought you were a threesome.
On Saturdays.
Phrasing. I thought you just
Sorry.
phrase. Are we doing phrasing?
Phrasing? Are we not
Yeah.
doing phrasing?
So I thought you were a trio.
There's been some stress given what's been happening over there.
But well, I am loath to admit it. He is older and wiser. Has been around the block a couple more times than we have. He's been grumbling.
Gangrel have a tendency to do that. So things are getting rough for you, and you wish to come back over the other side. Celeste, last time we talked, you were fairly adamant about wanting to keep your distance from the hierarchy that remains of the pyramid.
The last time we talked, I also gave you information that Orion did not want me to provide.
That was hardly on purpose, now was it?
Were you compelling me to not tell you that?
Were you what?
Were you compelling me to tell you that?
I was not. Sometimes a slip just happens. And it was useful, and it pissed off Oriane like nothing I've ever seen. So I do appreciate that. But I do have to wonder, we just have two of you wandering here with an offer to put on the table? I'm not saying I don't want you to rejoin us. Any of our lost sheep are more than welcome back to the flock. Maxine, you fit in very well with the Toreador in here. There's a lot of money to be made in New Orleans.
Well, you've been to my club, baby. You know what
Mhm.
I can bring across the to the ivory tower.
That I do, and I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, but I have to wonder, if I look into that mouth, what am I going to find?
Money. Good old fashioned green.
Money's good, but how much you talking?
Well, money and chance to ruffle some feathers on the other side of the tracks.
Oh, that seems even a little bit better.
If you thought Ariane was mad at us, sweetie, just wait.
There will be no going back after that one.
Mm-mm.
All right. So, what is this money that's going to ruffle some feathers? The feathers I'd like to be ruffled. I'd like to hear this whole offer before we make our decision.
There's a poker game. High stakes. Celebrities, councilmen, folks of the highest caliber.
Millions of dollars exchanging hands every time.
Millions of dollars is not what I find most impressive. It's one of the ways she keeps a thumb into the higher areas of New Orleans.
Oh, yes. It's how she knows what's going on, who to talk to, and whose palms to grease. Now, if something were to happen at one of those games if somehow
Well, that would
trouble were to stir up.
that would shake some of her control. You do this, she's not going to forgive you.
No. But as I said, she was ready to throw us to the wolves at the slightest inconvenience. And I look after those who look after me and mine. That includes this one. Nodding to Celeste, as much as it pains me to say it. And our grumpy gangrel friend.
But you didn't bring him with you.
We will bring him if you accept our offer.
Is he up for that offer?
Yes.
He's smart. He knows what's good for him.
If you're able to deliver me that poker game, that will be a massive problem for our mutual pain in the ass. That's an easy thing to bring you over with. A little bit of victory on top of you.
Sounds like a win on both sides then.
All right, Yep, I mean, it's a moving game. They don't usually find out until pretty quick. How'd you get yourself a beat on what that would, beat on what that would be?
People talk. Especially when they're plied.
All right.
That's why I love my club so much.
Well, you get that to us, and we'll see what checks out. And we'll see if we can hit that.
If we pull this off, well, Sugar, I know how things work in this business, how things work between kindred. I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
We got protection. We have, well, she kind of like looks at Celeste and goes, we got knowledge. Stuff that's been not just scraped together from the Anarchs who managed to pick up what they can. We have knowledge that has been hard won and kept, even for those who've gone.
And I'll be happy to offer my services in exchange for that knowledge.
I want magic.
She kind of smiles a bit and goes, blood sorcery is Tremere only thing. Maxine, there are some secrets we do not just share. That is asking too much.
Romeo. Honey. Do you know the kind of people that walk in and out of my club? Kind of people who bend their ears, drink my liquor. Just a little taste. That's all I'm asking for. Something to be able to protect me and mine.
He just kind of like sits back and goes, I mean, Celeste can get open to a lot of that, but we can't teach you the blood sorcery. Those are proprietary. There's other things we can get you. We can get you protection. We can get you other ways of getting power. We got plenty of places that could use a better hand at the till.
Very well. You don't get if you don't ask.
I can appreciate that. All right. Let us know and we'll see what we can do.
Of course. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sire.
You can say it that way, it starts to sound a little like bullshit.
I run a burlesque club, honey. I make money on my bullshit.
Well, I appreciate less of it. I like to deal as straight as I can with someone.
appreciate your time.
We'll be seeing you shortly.
Celeste, I'm looking forward to bringing you back in. We have people here
forward to
very
coming
happy
back.
to see you rejoin.
Looking forward to it.
All right.
Swagger on out.
Swagger, 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 swagger.
Whew. Back to the warded library basement.
So Maxine, you a little jealous?
Of what?
Can't do a little blood sorcery?
I'm sure I can pick up here and there.
Good luck.
You're gonna play my girlfriend tomorrow.
She plays my girlfriend on Wednesdays.
I've been the side piece too. I know it's like I guess on Wednesdays were a thing.
Wednesdays were a thing.
On Monday we got to pretend like everything's normal.
No, to be perfectly honest, protection is always appreciated,
Yes.
especially where I come from.
I think that went well. I'm just worried he's going to take the information, just not accept us.
We got the three of you back together for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the warded library. He was very excited to see Celeste. So that will probably sweeten the pot a little bit. Fuck.
Amarilla.
Mm,
Never thought I'd see the day.
no.
Never thought I'd go back.
If Ivor were alive, he'd kill me.
Aurelia would be thrilled. Oh, God.
We're going to need to start learning to play by the rules.
Smile and nod, honey. Smile and nod.
It's the only way to get through it, but at least we'll get through it.
What's our next step?
We need the location.
I need that poker game.
Later that evening, you get a message. A messenger comes by. Celeste's got like a pizza bag in touch with him. Just like what's up? There's just a delivery driver out there.
Are there anchovies on there? I'll reach out to.
Yeah, and he kind of like pulls out the pizza and sort of hands it to you. Goes, "All right, thanks for the tip," and then heads back in. The pizza itself has a like a card has been placed on it with an address, and it says tomorrow night, Anastasia, and it lists off a couple council people, at least one of which has been on there for a while.
Has it been signed by Oriane by any chance?
It is not.
Good. That's what we want. We don't want it signed by Oriane. Cool.
Signed by definitely not Oriane.
Celeste, do you mind if I get that card?
There you go.
And then I'm gonna hold it out to Pushin, and I'm gonna use my thing that I can do with my formulas. I can't remember the name of it. I get to give him. Basically, and just
It's
be like,
the Aquaman
Wait.
fish thing.
Pause.
yeah.
Before that happens, you said there is no indication of Oriane on this whatsoever.
She has put nothing on there for that has like she hasn't signed it because that would be dumb.
Well, yeah, but like letterhead and
Not
shit like
handwriting.
that.
It is a blank business card. The handwriting is not any that you've seen from her before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like nondescript.
Yeah.
Um.
Can't do anything to trace it back to her.
Yeah, that's basically the worry is it's going to
Yep.
be traced if it's going to be traced back to her. But if that is not the case, Maxine is going to attach one of the business cards for Domina before it is handed off to Pusheen.
All right.
We're pushing, and I'll kind of convey the where I went to speak to Romeo 2 nights ago now. 2 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
Take this there. Give it only to Romeo.
Just and it takes it and then just kind of like heads through the city.
Like I should put a drop of blood on it or something, just as my mark. You got Pushin taking it, the Domina card.
And then, yeah, like about an hour or so later, Pushin returns.
I'll give him a bit. Is there meat on the pizza?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have
Give him
picked off some.
sausage.
I'll have picked off some clusters of meat and just kind of pushed them over to him.
Right. And so are y'all wait and kind of see what happens?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat some. I'm gonna eat some pizza
All right.
because I can.
It's disgusting, Connell.
Anyone do anything that night or just sort of waiting?
Nah,
Or the next day?
Connor's left just eating pizza and then like spitting it back into the box.
All right.
Just smells awful.
It's like I understand that we are death.
Mama Lenore's cooking is much better than this.
I understand that we are death itself, but that smells like a carcass. Oh,
Not a fresh one.
no. Mm-mm.
You know, you're actually not far off. It does smell familiarly like one.
Thank you. I needed to know that. Thank you, Connell.
You're more than welcome, Maxine.
All right. Everyone make another rouse check.
Oh, yay. I love these. 3 rouse checks in the space of what? 20 minutes? You gotta love it. Oh, yay. I am not.
Damn.
Wait, oh, I panicked there. I was like, oh my god.
Maxine's a little like, I'm hungry.
Getting
Yeah.
hungry.
So the next evening, if you're sort of waiting, about 11:30 at night, according to the news in the area that thing was supposed to be, not only was there an explosion, I think a gas pipe possibly burst, but then there was gunfire heard shortly afterwards. Because we're not quite sure what has happened yet. We'll take care of blah 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 soon. The news finishes out, and do you want to go ahead and call it here for tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with
there
that.
we go. Spot.
Everyone gains 4 XP. You would have gotten 2. I forgot to give you the extra 2 for sort of finishing up this stuff with the Sabbat.
So 4.
Yep.
Ooh.
And we want to tell people where we can find all you wonderful folks.
Yeah. Hello, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your fucking ears or some shit. My name is Laura or Tutu or Laura Tutu. You can find me on TikTok as Tutu Who, also on Instagram as Tutu Who, and Twitter as Laura_Tutu. You can catch me with actually these fine folks, Miss Hallie and Mr. Brand, tomorrow at what is it, Brand? 6 Central?
6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yep, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on the World's Guild here on Twitch. We're doing a fabulous little homebrew created by Brand themselves. And we are about to go up against a big old baddie. So come hang out tomorrow and see if we survive or if I need to pull up this brand new fucking character sheet.
I charged in very stupidly right into it, so
We're fine. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's gonna be fine.
We're literally starting with
We are literally starting with combat.
when we get the smackdown laid.
It's fine. It's gonna be great. So yeah, check us out 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on the World's Guild here at Twitch.
I'm Hallie, Jalapeno on TikTok. Hey Jalapeno, pretty much everywhere else. Yeah, I mostly just post TTRPG content. Going to my first anime convention this weekend and just found out I'm doing it. So I'm trying to throw together a 3-day cosplay. And Amazon doesn't deliver for a week. So this is everything I can just find at the thrift store here. And good luck. So I'll be posting about that this weekend.
Hi, I am Bran. I go by Son of Asgard on TikTok and Asgard's D&D on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, I do D&D stuff. I do TTRPG stuff. On my channel, there's D&D basically every night because I have no life. I'm going to have a new campaign starting soon, hopefully. Where it's going to be my homebrew world, but instead of it being in the future, it's going to be way back in the past, back when the world started. So it's going to be a whole campaign of people just playing fairies and Eladrin, and seeing how the world originated. On top of that, since I hit 75k a while back, I've been recruiting people to do a big old 20-man battle royale, and I just did the last draw that I'm going to do for a little while today. And I actually believe it was yourself, Laura, that was the most voted.
Shit.
So, yeah, I'm going to be making a bunch of D&D TikTok creators stab each other to death. It's going to be fun. Yeah, that's what I do. Come and see me at Asgard, twitch.tv/Asgard's D&D Adventures. And, I do this as a job. So if you want me to be a DM for you, you can hire me at startplaying/Asgard's D&D Adventures, where I'm really cheap. That's me.
Cheap but enthusiastic. What people are looking for.
That's it.
I'm Michael Matthews. I'm Improv GM on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. You can also see me Sundays running masks. And I've got another thing that might be coming up. And if you are in the central Illinois or that Midwest area, you can see me doing stand-up at various places around. Check CU Comedy for that information. And I will catch y'all later.
There's definitely going to be a Wraith game at some point.